Chapter 8 Whispers of the Resistance. The Ember Fang Mountains rolled away behind them as Kaya, Blitz, Torin, and Scorn soared toward the western horizon. The skies were crisp and clear, the sun low behind a haze of volcanic smoke. They had been patrolling for weeks now, scanning every ridge and gorge for signs of lingering Silk Shroud activity. Sarai had ordered the construction of new watchtowers and defensive walls around Emberfang lands, but the possibility of another incursion haunted every waking moment. Below them, valleys twisted into deep gorges cloaked in mist. Kaya kept her gaze focused, her body attuned to Blitz's every movement. Below them, valleys twisted into deep gorges cloaked in mist. Kaya kept her gaze focused, her body attuned to Blitz's every movement. Though barely healed from the Silk Shroud's venom, their bond had only deepened since the ambush. Blitz flew smoother now, more in sync with her breath and intuition. Scorn, beside them, flapped with thunderous pride. Torin scanned the terrain ahead. "There!" he called, pointing toward a jagged mountain peak where a stone structure was embedded into the cliff face. Massive hangar doors slowly groaned open, revealing a landing platform buzzing with movement. Figures emerged, weapons drawn. Blitz and Scorn tensed, but then a familiar voice rang out. "Wait, it's them!" Miro stood front and center, soot-streaked but smiling. Beside him, Reyna holstered her weapon, her mechanical arm now fully upgraded with a burnished alloy finish. Kaya leapt off Blitz's back before he landed, sprinting into Miro's arms. They embraced tightly, her face pressed to his shoulder. "You found them," she breathed, half in disbelief. "Barely," Miro replied, flashing his trademark grin. "We had help." Torin raised an eyebrow. "You made it all the way here from Solarin?" "Not just made it, we turned the escape into a movement." Reyna's voice was calmer now, steadier. "There were others, protesters, underground resistance members, and prisoners, a lot of them. Viric's dungeons were overflowing. We broke into the lower precincts, hacked the door systems, and got them out." Miro continued, eyes alight with fire. "We started something, a society, one not just meant to run or hide, but to organize, to stand. We're calling it the Solstice Pact." Kaya blinked. "A resistance group?" Reyna nodded. "It began as one cell, but we've expanded. Word spread through coded broadcasts. Rebel messengers carried news on foot, by air, even through old crystal pulses. We've contacted humans in other cities in Valkyros, Duskvale, High Spire, Crescent Maw. And they're listening," Miro added. "They're scared, they're angry, they're ready." Kaya glanced around the warehouse. Inside, people were welding armor, tuning weapons, whispering over strategy tables lined with maps of Uayeia. Some wore tattered uniforms, others simple robes or scrap-forged armor, but they all moved with purpose. Torin crossed his arms. "You're saying you have an actual resistance now?" "Not just have," Reyna said with a faint smirk. "We're building it." Miro leaned in. "We didn't just escape, we lit a spark. And Kaya, seeing you again, and Blitz, this confirms it. This rebellion isn't just about survival anymore. It's about hope." Kaya looked toward Blitz, who lowered his massive head, his breath fogging the platform. She smiled. "Then we're here to fan the flame." Miro said, grinning, "I should probably mention, we had special help escaping the city." He pointed back toward the hangar, where two sleek, metallic dragons stood at rest. Their bodies were silver and black, etched with glowing circuitry. Their eyes scanned the room like sentient machines, each movement measured and precise. The first was tall and streamlined, its wings arcing like lightning bolts, its tail bristling with segmented conductors. Blue electricity crackled faintly from its wingtips. The second was broader, heavier, with reinforced armor plates layered across its body. Its feet had magnetic talons, and its tail ended in a hydraulic clamp. "We'd call them Cypher and Loom," Reyna said. "Cypher's a Voltschreik, specializes in high-speed flight and electrical interference. Loom's an Iron Fang, heavy support, ground stabilization, crowd suppression." Torin eyed the machines warily. "You ride these metal things?" Miro gave a lopsided shrug. "They're effective." Reyna elaborated. "We found a hidden research facility on the outskirts of Solarin during a supply raid. Virik's people were developing prototype mechanical dragons there. Cypher and Loom were in holding pens, tagged for remote control testing. Miro hacked the control terminals while I distracted the guards." Kaya stepped closer to the pair of machines, her eyes reflecting in Cypher's glowing lenses. "And you reprogrammed them?" "Barely," Miro said, chuckling nervously. "There were layers of security, but the software was rushed. We gave them basic autonomy, loyalty to us, and flight protocols. Just in time, too. The moment they came online, the whole facility went on lockdown." Reyna crossed her arms, smirking. "Cypher fried the surveillance grid. Loom punched through 3 steel barricades. We got out just before reinforcements arrived." Torin crossed his arms. "Machines with wings. It feels wrong." Kaya turned to him. "Is it so different from using blades or pulse rifles? They're tools you chose how to use." Torin's jaw tightened. "Dragons are more than tools. They're living beings, partners. They fight with us because they choose to." Miro stepped forward, his voice firmer. "And what of Triarch, Virik's so-called masterpiece? Do you think he chose anything? They drilled into his brain before his eyes were even open, implanted a neural lock. Every order, every kill, it's programmed." Reyna added, "Most of the dragons in Virik's army are the same. Cloned, drugged, enhanced with pain-responsive loyalty protocols." Torin looked pained, his gaze dropping to Scorn, who stood guard just outside the hangar. The Pyrosaurian snorted, flicking his tail with visible disdain as he watched Cypher and Loom from a distance. "This is the legacy of your kind?" Torin asked Kaya. "Dragons bred into obedience, machines made in their image?" Kaya opened her mouth, but Reyna stepped forward first. "Humans are flawed," she said. "Some abuse power, some fight to set others free. These machines, we could have left them behind, let Virik use them, but we chose to repurpose them, turn weapons into allies." Kaya nodded. "Same with Blitz. He was made in a lab too, but he chose to fight with me. He chose to be more." Torin looked at her, then at the sleek humming dragons behind her. Cypher flicked his tail, arcing a ripple of blue static across the floor. Loom exhaled a pulse of chilled air from her vents, the sound deep and rumbling. Torin exhaled slowly. "Guess maybe it's not where they're made from, but what they choose to become." Reyna smiled faintly. "Exactly." The wind howled outside the mountain cliffs. Somewhere below, storm clouds churned across the horizon, but inside the warehouse something had shifted. A fragile but growing alliance of flesh, scale, and steel. Later that evening, after a tense meal and some much-needed rest, the group toured the full extent of the hidden mountain facility. Miro led them through vast cargo bays filled with scavenged weaponry and crates of ration packs. Reina showed off the communication array, makeshift but functional, where intercepted enforcer transmissions flickered through static-laced monitors. In a command room deep within the warehouse, the lights dimmed as a large holographic console flickered to life. A sharp beep echoed, followed by the stern visage of a tall, scarred woman wrapped in a cloak of black dragon hide. It was Commander Vex Stormclad, leader of Scale, the Strategic Combat Alliance for Liberation and Equality, the official resistance. Stories of her exploits inspired Kaya and her friends to stand up and fight back against Vyric's enforcers. Up to this point, she was merely an urban legend, but to see her for real was breathtaking. Her hair was silver and buzzed at the sides, her lone eye gleaming with a faint green glow, a cybernetic replacement scarred from battle. The other side of her face bore claw marks that had never fully healed. She stood ramrod straight, radiating quiet authority. "So," she said, voice gravel thick and composed, "you're the human with the frost dragon, and the thieves who made off with 2 governmental military prototypes." Miro raised both hands. "We prefer the term liberators." Kaya stepped forward. "Commander Stormclad, my name is Kaya Skyborn. This is Torin, Miro, and Reina. The Frost Dragon is Blitz. We're not here to take credit, just to help." Vex studied her. "We've heard of you, all of you. Your names are spreading. Solaran's people whisper of the Frost Rider who challenged the Enforcer Corps, of the saboteurs who crippled drone production in the East, of the human girl who bonded a dragon through resonance." Torin shifted. "You've been watching us." "We've been watching everyone," Vex said, "but few leave a mark like you have, especially not with dragons." She looked toward Miro and Reina. "The society you started, your safe house networks, your evacuations, your encrypted broadcasts, they've given us hundreds of new recruits. Many think Scale is the resistance, but it's always been more than that. We're a spark. You're the kindling." Kaya stood taller. "Then what comes next?" Vex leaned forward. "You've contacted us at a crucial moment. We've spent years gathering supplies, dragons, engineers, and old Vylari weapon blueprints, but we've lacked something essential. Purpose, unity. Now we have a target. Solaran City. We're going to dismantle the Enforcer Corps, one tower at a time." Reina's eyes widened. "An actual assault?" "No, not just an assault," Vex said. "An uprising. One coordinated across multiple human cities. Draenith, Vespera, Argos, and Solaran." Kaya exchanged glances with her friends. "Then we fight together." Vex nodded once. Then she lifted a small transmitter and pressed a button. Coordinates shimmered into the air. "Meet us here. It's an old Vylari fortress, hidden beneath the salt cliffs of Vespera. That's where we're staging the first phase. We'll discuss logistics, battle lines, and dragon pairings. We need you. All of you." Kaya stepped forward. "We won't let you down." Vex's stern face twitched into the ghost of a smile. "I know you won't." The transmission blinked out. Far to the east, in the highest spire of Solaran City, President Vyric stood alone in a darkened war room. Holograms of the Silk Shroud Mother's corpse rotated slowly in the air. Surveillance footage of Kaya, Torin, and their dragons crackled with static, but played clearly enough. "They're uniting," he said softly. "Too many voices, too many flames." A figure in black armor, Captain Drake, approached. His helmet glinted like polished jet. "We've tracked Subject 117's energy trail to Emberfang and the Western Ridges. Intercept teams are en route." "And the girl?" "Alive, as ordered." Vierick nodded. "Bring her. The Frost Dragon, too." He turned toward a massive containment chamber sealed with multiple energy locks. Inside, Triarch, the once proud Alpha Dragon, twitched under the weight of chains and wiring. His aura shimmered dimly. Technicians watched monitors as radiant dragon energy surged through conduits into a crystalline core. "Stabilizing energy reserves," one reported. "We're ready to initiate the next phase." A second technician frowned. "But sir, the containment field is fraying. The power strain—" "Do it!" Vierick hissed. The lights dimmed. In the shadows of the lab, something stirred. Not a dragon, not a machine, something new, and it was waking up.